It says
We're
scheduled
live.
on. We're live.
We're
Ladies and
live.
gentlemen, welcome, guys. So, we're going to do something very special that you guys probably have never seen before. We're going to do something known as the PeakFlow Power Hour. Where pretty much every single week, me and Trevor are going to go live and share with you guys all of our insights when it comes to high ticket e-commerce. We're actually even thinking about building a high ticket dropshipping store from scratch, getting it from the ground up all the way to the marketing, the ads, just showing you guys as much as we can, documenting it once a week on this. So if you guys think that's a good idea or you guys would be interested in that, let us know in the comments of either right now or the recording. But with that being said, guys, welcome to Power Hour. My name is Marcus. I'm your host. Trevor, introduce yourself. Say what's up. That's my co-host, my brother.
What's up? My name is Trevor. Super happy to finally start the PeakFlow Power Hour. Let's get into what we have today. So,
Yeah, so real quick, I just want to emphasize, but before we even go talking about Jordan, because he's someone inside the one-on-one, is that we're making these because we actually want to help you guys. So at any time, right now we predict it, obviously, we're still relatively a smaller audience. Not everybody's gonna come onto live. I understand. So that's why today we actually have like a whole entire presentation board. But don't let any of this background stuff dismay you from the real point of these power hours, which is to give you guys value. We want to answer all your questions. So at any point, guys, every Friday live, don't be afraid to be asking questions. Ask away. We're here to generally just try to help you guys see what we could do for the community. And with that being said, I want to actually bring out yesterday's results, guys. Right now, as we're talking, is September 27th, 12 p.m. Eastern. This happened not even 24 hours ago. Well, around actually 25 hours ago. We're being super concise. It's 11 a.m. yesterday. Jordan, he got a $10,000 sale. His first sale was for $10,000. But what really captures me isn't even just that first sale. Maybe because I've seen so many first sales happen already. God bless. But it's the community that shined afterwards. It's like Milano and Ray and everybody inside our community that's just like hyping each other up and building that bond with each other through e-commerce, which I think is so immensely powerful. And as always, we make videos like these because like we're also business owners at the end of the day. Don't get it twisted. We are not one of your everyday TikTok dancer, content creator. Like, no, we are businessmen first. And we practice what we preach, which is exactly what makes us different from all these other dropshipping gurus out there. Because a lot of gurus out there, I'm gonna tell you guys a quick insight. They might hate me for this, but I'm gonna say it. I don't care. Bro, a lot of dropshippers that have the courses and education stuff that they're selling, they don't even be running dropshipping anymore. Trevor, do you agree or disagree? Like, do you think everybody on YouTube teaching dropshipping, like they're still running their OG dropshipping stores?
no, I would say 90% of people don't have their dropshipping store anymore, and it's kind of surprising at first, but then you kind of realize like
Mm-hmm.
they they might have gotten success with dropshipping in the first place, but then what got to their first success in the first place, they're no longer doing, which is like kind of
Right.
mind blowing at the same time. What's your thoughts on like why people or why 90% of influencers are kind of doing that?
That's a good question. I've thought about it too. And I simply just think like number one, the traditional dropshipping method isn't sustainable in the long run. So we're gonna talk more about that stuff later in the stream, guys. But I want you guys to know at the core of any business is product. And so even with dropshipping, you're selling products, but if you don't have good supply chain, if you don't have, inventory, you can't really, you could get sales, but you can't fulfill it, which makes it really hard to, keep it sustainable. And that's probably one big problem that all these dropshippers face. And one way they pivot is by selling, education courses, or they go into like branded 3PL dropshipping, which is like more e-commerce, but that's not dropshipping anymore. But regardless, the reason I say this is because a lot of gurus out there that are teaching you guys dropshipping, they don't even dropship themselves anymore. But the difference between me, Trevor, PeakFlow, and others is like we practice what we preach. Like we do this. Like I was literally talking to Trevor, like just before it's like, bro, like we are about this. Which brings me, I want to show you guys what happened in the next slide. So Jordan got a sale at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got blessed by the ecom gods, and then I got sale at around like 5 p.m. But it was a back to back. That's why I got hyped. I haven't had like a back to back drop, probably in like a few weeks, maybe a month-ish. But it was a nice like 18K in 4 orders. I actually got one more order at 9:30 last night, so it was 4 orders around 18K. And then what's crazy, because I want to, inspire the community. I was just like, like this is what we do, is boom, Trevor gets us in with a 15K sale. So I say all this, I'm not trying to brag, but we know what we're talking about when it comes to dropshipping. In fact, I want to start off by telling you guys my story. My story is I actually came from the dropshipping world. I started off traditional dropshipping. I started off doing that AliExpress method, and I wasn't able to go long term. And that's probably what a lot of other gurus face as well. They have a hard time finding props, suppliers, and stuff like that. But before I got into dropshipping, I want to let you guys know, like, I was just like you. I was in the process of being sold an imaginary dream, the American dream of go to school, get a job, go into 401k, get a house, and happy life, happy wife, kind of metaphorically saying, right? Like Trevor, like right, Trevor, like you too, right? Like,
Yeah,
you had
I heard it multiple times.
And yeah, basically, like I was in that route, and I had myself set up for like jobs, and I was actually working at a real estate brokerage company. And somewhere along that journey, I was just like, like, can I make some faster money? So I started reselling shoes. I got into retail arbitrage, meaning like I was going to like Target and just like yard shops and just everywhere. I was just finding things for low, selling it for higher. And then that's where I was like, oh wow, like drop shipping is pretty cool because I don't have to own product. I don't have to own these shoes, but I'm still able to like go and make money. So that's how I got started into drop shipping. I don't know where you guys are at, but like drop shipping is really cool because you don't have to own the product, but you can still sell it and make money and pocket that difference. So that's how I got into low ticket dropshipping. And then through years of trial and error, I finally scaled this winning product. But everything I just said right now of like, I wasn't able to scale it properly because I had like bad systems was absolutely true. I'm saving you guys thousands of hours and money from this of just like, bro, just be aware that there's a business model inside dropshipping that's high ticket dropshipping. And that's the same business model that got me out of this huge debt that low ticket dropshipping got me into. And if there's one metaphor or one saying that I could just sum it all to just like share with you guys is now is not forever. When I was in debt, when I didn't know what to do, I had to tell myself that. And wherever you guys are right now in your journey with business or life, just know that like even if this is that period where you have to put your head down and grind, like it's okay because now is not forever. And I'm always cheering for you. And enough about me. I know you guys are tired of hearing my voice. Trevor, like, bro, I feel like I've been talking way too much. That's my fault. Like, you got like where you come from, bro? Like, tell the world, bro.
No, you definitely did not ramble on too long because like I still don't know like all your intricacies with like how you got started. Like I didn't know I didn't know that you were working at like a real estate brokerage. You said, right?
Yeah, it was like a 10 to 4. If I'm being
Nice.
honest.
401.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So mine is pretty simple, but let me go to my slide. So I got first exposed to e-commerce pretty early on. I would say like 2017. And I started dropshipping on eBay, so ebay.com. And I was doing essentially what Marcus was doing, retail arbitrage. Basically, I would put items I didn't use Target, I used AliExpress, and then I just sold them on eBay. Whenever I get an order, I just buy it from AliExpress, ship it to the customer. Pretty simple, like retail arbitrage. So I did pretty well with that, but then I actually got banned on eBay because I was underage. I don't even know how I was able to bypass it and receive money. Well, I do know because I was using my parents' information, but like the information didn't match. So like eBay sent me like a MC011 or whatever the error was, and then my account got suspended. But enough with that. I eventually started Facebook Marketplace dropshipping, and that was kind of like my big breakthrough moment. It's very similar to Marcus. Like his breakthrough moment was low ticket dropshipping. My breakthrough moment was Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. But then 2 to 3 years later, I still do not know to this day like why it died. I have a clear. I think I know why, which is like the algorithm just slowly. There's more and more dropshippers on the platform, and then just saturated the whole marketplace. And then Facebook did something about it, and then people just started making less and less sales over time. But since 2021, I started doing high ticket dropshipping. I did a ton of other business models like low ticket. I only did like 2 to 3 stores. I had a Google Ads store, which was pretty life changing because Google Ads actually was the main thing that changed my life. Because I was doing Facebook ads and I was never profitable with it. But my first Google Ads store was profitable, like right off the bat, which is really surprising. I also did SMMA, affiliate marketing, SEO content sites, but nothing too much to say about those. Those pretty much failed after a few months. Also, I'm from Michigan, and if there's one thing I would say that you guys should take away from this is like the longer that you stay consistent with just one business model, the longer or the more success you will have. I'm probably going to still do high ticket dropshipping 4 years to 10 years from now, just because it's just once you're in the space for so long, you can basically do it blindfolded. That's kind of how I feel. Like after you just set up so many stores, you help people, build their stores, you see a pattern and you can just reverse engineer like, hey, this person has this problem. Let me just go ahead and fix it, document it. And then now you have a formula to succeed in any niche. But yeah, enough with that. I'll let Marcus take it away with like, why are we even talking about this and why should you even make money and even consider doing this in the first place?
Thank you, Trevor. You weren't babbling. I was actually like learning some intricacies from you as well. And if there's anything the audience can take away from this video, because I get asked this a lot, I'm sure you do too, Trev. Like me and Trev met and started working together like a year ago. And then before that, we knew each other from the same like mastermind group. Shout out to Shri Kanase. If she ever watches this, shout out to Shri. He gave me the breakthrough moments. He changed my life with dropshipping. But I say that because throughout the time we were working together, we have helped countless students, and those students also went on live to like really share their experience. So I think that's really cool for you guys to check out if you guys are thinking about this business model. And I say this because that's also why we started PeakFlow. We started PeakFlow because like when you hit a certain level of like you made your first few sales, there's not that many people around you that actually can relate to that. I know that was a problem for me, and I'm sure that was a problem for you too, Trev. And as you start going into the online world, you want to have people that keep you accountable, can rival you, can push you to new limits, and be inside that game with you. And that's kind of where me and Trevor met, and that's also why we fit to even building out PeakFlow together, is because I'll tell you guys one quick tip. And the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of you guys coming into business, you guys want to make money, and you guys end up partnering with people that end up actually costing you ROI, time, and money in the first place, right? I know a lot of people aren't open to doing, partners with not doing business with a partner or just doing a solo, whatever. My best advice, because I've had fallouts and I've also had good successful partners, is that it comes down to what you guys bring to the table of the business. So I say that because, I'm being very vulnerable with you guys and honest, like there are things that Trevor does and his strengths that are my weaknesses. And I have strengths where it might be his weaknesses, but together we mash, together we build this community, and together this is why we're here to share with you guys, say that we are just like you guys. Like we're no different. We came from the scratch of trying to find some way somehow to make money online. We were freedom fighters looking for freedom, and somewhere along the journey we had the same goal, same ambitions. We're like, you know what, let's join forces and see if we can actually change people's lives. And through this past year, undoubtedly, like we're gonna change so many more. Countless, all on our YouTube channels. I'm about to say it for you guys. And if you guys ever want, we have free resources. It's 10 plus hours of training from me and Trevor, over 6 GB at peakflowacademy.com. It's all free, so just all there. But with that being said, like, let's talk about why we're doing this, why we have to, work all together as one to make money, because many people are still under the misconception that money is somehow just generated from thin air, which it is. Technically, we're printing it, but money and fundamentals is you taking it from someone. So now, if you're not going to go actually rob someone and commit thief, you're going to have to convince someone to give you their money willingly. And the only way that we saw fit for this is business. I mean, you can either give away your time for money. You know what I mean? That's what most people do. That's probably what you're doing right now. But you can actually trade, money back for your time. But even more importantly, like, we have to be able to make money. We have to be able to find something that we could sell. So in terms of selling, you guys could either sell products, you guys could sell services, or you could affiliate or sell software. So obviously, with what we do, we went into products. People that like Iman Gadzhi, people that do agency, they went into service. What we're going to cover with you guys today is exactly how to find a product that you don't have to physically own, but still be able to sell it for thousands and thousands of dollars via virtual showrooms. So it's very important that we have all of this in mind. We understand this big picture, and we're going to go down into explaining for us why selling products is better than services. For me, services is very hard to keep a client happy, right? Like, I'm sure you guys can relate. Like, imagine you guys want to do social media manager for a business, right? And you have to build out their social media. You have to pump out content for them, think of a strategy, do this, do that. It's so scary, because if you have like 3-4 clients giving you like 3-4 grand a month, yeah, you're making money, but you're trading your 9 to 5 for a 24/7. That's why, like, products is the wave. But when you go into products, you go into drop shipping. But inside drop shipping, most people don't know that there's high ticket drop shipping. So we're actually in a very under marketed space. It's an understatement when I say that high ticket dropshipping is untapped. There's truly so much market, so much ocean. And that's why me and Trevor are here for you guys to share with you guys the abundance. Because simply put, it's too much for us to even handle. It's too much for us to eat. We cannot even handle it. We want to take it all. We are fine and cleaning out stores ourselves. And there's still money in the pie for our students. And there's still money for you if you guys listen very carefully. So one of the biggest problems when you are selling products is, again, the same problem you get with agency or services, which is fulfillment. How do you keep the customer happy so that you could kindly take the client's money from their bank account to yours? And the way you do that is by products, specifically high ticket. And the reason you do high ticket is because look, in business, you either sell two ways. You sell quantity or you sell quality. You're either going to sell to the masses or you're going to sell to a select few. Anywhere in the middle is very hard. Those are the best products. So low ticket dropshipping captures mass market. High ticket dropshipping will capture a select few of people, but we know that these select few of people are going to, quote unquote, have money. They're rich people. That's why they buy these expensive items. And so this is the motive or the fundamental world view of how this business model works in the real world. Now I'm going to pass on to Trevor. I want Trevor to share with you guys like how high, like what high ticket dropshipping is in the dropshipping world.
Yeah, so for anyone coming in that's brand new to e-commerce, high ticket is absolutely game changing in my opinion. Like, this business model changed both of our lives and hundreds of clients as well. And in a nutshell, the business model is where we set up an online website just like traditional e-commerce, but instead of working with AliExpress or Alibaba suppliers, we're going to be reaching out to established brands. The big key here is established brands, because of the fact that we don't need to create brand demand. All we really need to do, which we'll get to in the future episode, is essentially just show our ads in front of people that are already looking to buy our products. And that's really it. Like, our marketing strategy is quite simple. And the reason why it's very simple is because it's effective, because we're targeting people that are on Google typing in buy Sunray Sauna, buy Clearlight Sauna. These are people that are ready to buy, and it's not like rocket science. You don't have to like create video ads to, sell to them. So with that being said, we want to work with USA established brands, and we want to become an authorized retailer for them. And a lot of times commonly asked questions would be like, why would they want you to sell their products? Well, in this business model, it's actually a win-win situation where if you sell their products and you make a sale, not only do you make money, but the supplier makes money. So in this business model, it's a mutually beneficial relationship where once a supplier, whenever you sell a product, the supplier makes money and you make money, and then the customer also gets what they're looking for. So with this business, as long as you're doing the right thing, you're taking care of your customers. It's not like a fishy business at all. Like, you do not need to buy inventory up front, which is also a huge pro of this. Once you get an order, you simply just tell your supplier, and then you just ship it to the customer. You just profit the difference in between, just like normal dropshipping. But with this business model, you want to work with brands that have been around for like 10, 20, 30 plus years, because people already know these brands, and we don't want to reinvent the marketing strategy. And with that being
I'm
said,
sorry, Trevor. Could you go back? I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to add something on real quick. Is that I know a lot of people are a little bit skeptical with selling like such an expensive item at first. And the best example that I could share with you guys is a jet salesman. So like, you guys know jet salesmen don't actually own jets, right? Like billionaires own jets. But jet salesmen make millions of dollars by transacting the sales of jets. Now, you want to look at that concept and translate that with high ticket dropshipping. Essentially, you don't need to ever own the product to sell it. You just have to know who to find product from, and you have to find a billionaire or someone that's super rich to buy that product from you. So you definitely can. It's just you have to change the perspective of how you see life, but you could do it. Escape the matrix. Thank you, Trevor. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. I just want to answer some questions real quick. That's fine. That's in the comment section. So one is saying like, let's just go back. One says like, what do you recommend to avoid money laundering by payment gateways? I don't get the question. Like when I first saw this,
money laundering is definitely a red flag. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to just like veto that question. I'm no way near gonna answer any of that. I have no idea. What advice do you have for people outside the US? I'm from Mexico. So this business model works from anywhere. You just have to register a LLC in the United States to operate inside the United States territory. So you definitely could. It's more about like getting your foot wet and trying it. Trevor, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean the very logical, practical way is just going on to like Buffalo register agents, getting an LLC, and they'll get you a resale certificate and an EIN. Like the legal part is pretty simple. There's services out there that will do it all for you. So there's not anything complex with that.
Yeah.
I got another question, which is like, what are the perfect products for dropshipping? The answer is there's no perfect product. If there is, I'm gonna be hiding it from everyone. I'm kidding. There is no perfect product. I wish there was, but is furniture good? I do have a furniture store, so is it a good niche? I would say it's a decent niche, but there's pros and cons to everything. The con of furniture is like damages compared to like saunas, for example. Saunas, I know like the average damage rate would be like 150 probably orders. In furniture, it's like 1 in 10 or 115. The damages are quite high, but to combat that, you just need a good return / customer service system. Like
you need systems.
Know how to, yeah. If you have systems in place for any of this, you can be dealing with the problems. But the furniture, the margins are good. I do like that.
Yeah. Next topic. Product characteristics. So for me, I look for products based off of supplier and market. So I like to think from the perspective of during times of economic uncertainty, because we don't know what's going on with the economy and everything right now. who's still going to buy? You know, so okay, fine. Like probably people that have money that can buy. Hey, sorry, I'm sorry. I'm okay. So like you want people that could buy from you. So it's like okay, what do rich people want? What do rich people have? So I'm thinking like okay, rich people probably have like mad different properties, real estate investments. They have Airbnbs. They might be giving their house to Air. So what do those Airbnbs need? And then I think from that perspective. So I look at it from the market view, and then the next characteristic is understanding if they have good suppliers. Suppliers meaning, and you don't know if it's good or not until you test it, but I like to see if the supplier is responsive. That's the characteristic I look for. I look for a responsive supplier. And if there's a potential market inside that actual market, and then that's where I go narrowing down. That's my answer.
Yeah, TLDR, there's no perfect niche, but
Yeah,
or product
facts.
type, but furniture is a decent one. And you just ideally you don't make the mistake of doing a broad furniture store. You want to do something that's more niche down, like for example, living room, bedroom furniture, bathroom furniture, uh, maybe even home theater furniture. So just pick one of. Just imagine your house. Each room is like a niche. It's like the easiest way to visualize it.
Yo, mate,
Uh,
mate is from the UK, right? Like if you say mate, that means you're from the UK, mate.
Great to see you,
I'm just
mate. Yeah,
asking.
that's from the UK. But yeah, with that being said, like, you know, let's just talk about like, there's so many business models out there. Which one is going to be the ideal one? So I'll just start with affiliate marketing, and I'll pass it to Marcus after it. So affiliate marketing, I actually did do this a few years ago. The startup capital is pretty low. Like all you need is just a WordPress hosting, and you can start cranking content. With AI writers now, it's so much easier than what it was before. But the issue with this is the margins are actually going down over time. I actually know someone that did affiliate marketing before, and they said the margins were like 5%, but then nowadays it's closer to 1 to 2%. So that just means like if you're selling low ticket items plus the 1 to 2%, you're basically making pennies. So you basically have to sell high ticket if you're going to do affiliate marketing. The fulfillment is obviously easy. You don't have to do anything with their skills. It kind of has to do with just marketing in general, which kind of has to do with the business model's name, affiliate marketing. But with affiliate marketing, your whole goal is just to drive traffic. So if you know how to drive traffic profitably at a low cost, or just profitably in general, then you're going to make money with affiliate marketing no matter what. Scalability, it's extremely easy, but you just have to actually be profitable in the first place, which is going to be the hard part. Now, outsourcing, there are parts that are outsourceable, like for example, like writing content, but that's also going to eat into your margins when your margins are already low, which makes it very hard to even outsource in the first place. So with that being said, I'll pass it to Marcus for Amazon FBA. We actually had a few people that early on in the program came from Amazon FBA, and why don't you just share a little bit about that experience and like what's the difference between FBA and high ticket ecom?
Yeah, 100%, bro. So a few things. Amazon FBA is essentially you having to cover the inventory up front, and then Amazon will handle, the sales, the customer service, and do all of that for you. That's why people do Amazon FBA. But the problem is that Amazon FBA, again, the startup capital is very capital intensive. And again, I want to give you guys as much value as possible. So you guys should definitely like analyze the chart. I also made a YouTube video about this that's going to come out probably like next week or for the next 2 weeks, examining all of these in detail. So you guys don't have to hear me ramble about this stuff. The difference between Amazon FBA and dropshipping is that you have to invest into capital. Traditional dropshipping, high ticket dropshipping, we don't need any capital. And in terms of the products that you want to invest in, Igor, again, because I'm literally we are making Power Hour for you guys. So make sure you guys come in and tune in every Friday at 12 p.m. and ask all your questions. So Igor asked, what do you think about garage products, systems, lifts as a niche? I think that's a very creative idea, Igor. And I think you're on the right track, because when it comes to e-commerce, you're either going to sell to consumers or we sell to businesses. So you're thinking in a very creative level, which I have also thought about as well. So I'll give you my honest take on it. So when it comes to commercial products, I think that garage is a little bit too niche and too small of a market for me personally. That's why. Like I'm swearing because I'm actually gonna give you guys some real sauce that we shared inside our one-on-one programs. But a good niche that you could look into um is actually somewhere in the business niche. So okay, I'll just give it to you guys. One niche that I've been looking really into are these hydraulic chambers. So I've been thinking it from the perspective of okay, right now we're living in the toughest economic times right now. So it's hard for businesses to run as it is. If you're gonna sell to a business, you better sell something that is gonna be on the expense sheet. So I don't know how many factories and all that stuff are buying these lifts and systems. I think there might be a market, but I'm thinking from the perspective of okay, if I'm trying to target that person that has a lot of money, that has tons of commercial and all that stuff, what do they want? Well, health is wealth. So no matter how much money they have, they're gonna want to take care of their bodies. So I'll give it away. One of them is like a hyperbaric chamber or like those red light therapies. Those go for like 30, 40, 50 grand. And they're actually targeting like the business owner of the person that's running like maybe a garage business or whatever. So that's my take on it. Obviously, I could be wrong. That's just one way I'm thinking of it. But going back into this chart, if you guys again have any questions, feel free to ask. Is Amazon FBA is capital intensive. Drop shipping is less capital intensive because you could just buy it from the supplier. You only pay once you get the order. And there's pros and cons into all of it. Infocross is also really good, but it's also a lot harder to sell. There's going to be a lot more skills required for someone to buy a course off you off of fitness or e-commerce. Like you literally have to kind of like know your stuff to an extent. And so the ideal business model, in my opinion, it has to have low startup capital, good profit margins, easy fulfillment, low skill barrier of entry, high scalability. Obviously, what I'm saying, if it's super big words, it means like we need a profitable machine. And thankfully, me and Trevor, we spent years like crafting up that $1 billion strategy. It's actually the same strategy like Wayfair and Home Depot use. So it's not like we're like making a new strategy. We're just simply reinventing the market. I think that's what business is at the end of the day. And Igor just asked, is B2B doable via dropshipping? Do businesses buy via Google Ads or use different channels? I'm going to answer this one, and then I want to pass it on to Trevor. I've thought about this question as well. That's a great question. I think that if you're a business, you're still going to search it on Google. So I think shopping and search still, you should be taking that up as well as SEO. I've seen people have success using email reach outs, like doing cold DMs, like emails. I've also seen people work with it on LinkedIn. I think it's just a matter of like finding the right person at the right time, and like you just have to tap into like that traffic. At like it's just like not like a little bit of luck, but a little of like spam. Like like if you reach out to 500 people and you close a client that gives you like $2,000, is that like luck or is that like hard work? It's like a little in both, So that's my take. I don't know. It's definitely doable though. Like I have ordered myself. It's like 40,000. Trevor, your thoughts?
Yep. So I work more on the client side, but I do see B2B sales via Google Ads all the time. Would I say like is that the main channel? Probably 50-50. Like people, whenever businesses always go on to some sort of search engine to find what they're looking for. They don't always have the supplier right there and then. Like, yeah, maybe stores like, or I mean, companies like Apple might have their own private supplier and things like that. But like, what about all the companies in between Apple and then your mom and pop? There's tons and tons of businesses open up every day. So just because a company's large doesn't mean that they don't use Google to search for whatever item that they're looking to buy. My own store, I actually had a couple orders from SpaceX. So that's
what
it was.
You did?
I had a few orders from SpaceX. Yeah. So I won't reveal the product that they bought, but they overnighted it to their SpaceX factory in Texas, which is pretty interesting. So you can have large companies buy from me. I even sold to a university before, so a few greenhouses to a university. and all these came in from Google Ads. So you really don't need to do outreach, but at the end of the day, all these approaches of like doing something is just traffic. Can you get the right traffic to buy what you're selling? So at the end of the day, like Google Ads is gonna do most of the heavy lifting, but if you want to expand towards it, you could do email outreach, you could do cold call these businesses. Those are probably the most effective ones, and then you could probably even like run ads to, like, you could scrape all your businesses and then you could put that together as a lookalike audience on Facebook, and then you could run ads with that lookalike. So there's a lot of like cool things you could do, but most of the times you want to just focus on 80-20.
Facts.
Is the best way to explain it. But with that being said, like, what are some real examples of high-tech e-commerce retailers? Like, I'm sure if you're in the US, at least you've been to at least one of these stores. Home Depot, who can miss it? It's the huge, humongous orange letters on a brick. You cannot miss it from the highway. Lowe's, I've actually never seen a Wayfair store, but like Home Depot, Lowe's, Bed Bath & Beyond, they have massive logos. Like, you have to be blind to not see it. But yeah, these are real examples of high-tech e-commerce retailers. And I'll pass it to Marcus, and we'll take turns. Like, what are the frequently FAQs for high-tech e-com? Why don't you start on the very top?
Yeah, I got you. So we kind of covered this question before already. Like, can you do this anywhere from around the world? The question was from Mexico, but yeah, you could do this from anywhere around the world, because you just have to start a USA-based LLC company, and then you could pretty much run your store from anywhere around the world, because the internet has made that centralized. The average profit margin of the suppliers is commonly 20 to 25%. You can sell it for that 20% mark, but I don't recommend it. We don't recommend it. It's more profit margins and how to make it sustainable in the long run, but it's completely up to you. And the success rate of students, as much as I want to gas and hype up, my company and PeakFlow, I will say, like, the success of our students come down to the students themselves.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, like, the way we're speaking and the language we use, we're talking to people that are accountable. Like, if you watch our content, you probably understand discipline, you understand working hard, you understand being consistent. So when a student comes in with open arms of willingness to learn and adapt our systems that are proven and work time after time, and they just build that part out of them with, like, just putting in that grind, that's why you see the student results that come in. It's because, like, in my opinion, like, the blueprint is there. The coaches are there to answer any questions. Like, it's just like, you just have to do the work. It's like, if you want to get good at basketball, you want to get some game time in, you want to play professionally, we have a coach for you. We have the workout routine. We have everything. But if you don't show up to the gym, bro, if you don't show up practicing, shooting some hoops, like, the skill will not be transferable. So the success rate of our students is really high, but it's also because we're in a community of this, guys. Like, that's why it's so fun. Like, every single day, like, you have people hyping you up, saying, like, yo, like, I'm gonna get the first sale first, or like, oh, you just got 5K, like, I'm gonna get 7K, watch. Like, and it just becomes like a very healthy competition, and all of this stuff happens behind closed doors. Anyways, that's the half of it. Trevor, all you.
Yeah, so the other few are like how much time is needed. Obviously, the more time you can put in, the better. Very straightforward, but we recommend 15 to 20 hours per week, and that comes out to like 2 to 4 hours a day. If you can put more, put more. If you can't, then at least minimum 2 hours a day should be like your focus time with the business. And the other question is, like, how much capital do you need? So you could get started with $500, but honestly, we would just recommend $2,000. That's like a good healthy amount for ads, premium theme, LLC, all the services that you'll use. And then you have, I would say, $1,250 or more with ad budget. And if you follow what's outlined in our content with the paid ads in Google Ads, you should definitely be making sales in the first few hundred that you spend. Like, if you're not, then something is fundamentally wrong. And the good thing about this business model is it's very logical. Like, if you're not getting leads from your ads, that means your site is not trustworthy. But if your site is trustworthy and you're getting leads, but they're not converting, that means it's your sales process. So every single part of this business model is just very logical. If you can just put one and one together, you can figure out like where your bottleneck in the business is. So with that being said, like, why don't customers just order from the supplier directly? That's a very common question, but the short and sweet answer is like most of the brands we sell just don't sell to the consumers, and even if they do, we still generate sales just because not everyone opens up every listing and just buys it from the brand. Why do people? You can buy an iPhone from Apple, but why do people buy from Best Buy, Walmart, and all these other huge and dozens of retailers? You got to ask yourself that. You can easily buy it from apple.com, but why do people do that? Verizon, AT&T, they have special deals, they have a different offer, and that's the easiest way to differentiate yourself from the brand if the brand even sells to the public. But most of the time, 90% of the times, the brands don't sell to the public, so that's not even a problem. So with that being said,
you got some comments right now.
We got some
questions asking already.
Yeah. So Igor says, how can we find our margins on products in the niche that we are thinking to enter, or we find that out only once we... So the best way to do that is just really go to those competitive websites and just ask them on live chat, can I get 10% off? Or tell them, hey, my competitor or this competitor is offering 10% off. Can you match that? And usually if they can match 10% off, it means like the product has at least 25% margin net. Otherwise they wouldn't be matching it because they wouldn't be left with anything. So that's like the cool way you could check the margins. Just ask like if you can do 10% off. And I guess I'll let Marcus answer the next two questions. Like, I have problems with GMC.
How kind of you, Trevor. Thank you. Okay, fine. I have problems with Google Merchant Center. The Subprocess is the main problem for it. This is actually one thing I actually want to bring up on. I've been confused on this too. So back then, when I had Merchant Center problems, I actually asked Subprocess for a lot of help. I was contacting Google. I was literally getting as much support as I can. So I would say, like, I usually ask Subprocess to see what's wrong with it, but at the same time, like, I think it just comes down to a core like list of like checklists, and Trevor actually made like a checklist for Merchant Center and Pass before, so I'm more relying on that. Trevor, do you think Subprocess is like do you even need to ask them for diagnose?
I've never contacted Subprocess except if it's Subprocess error. In terms of like GMC, recently we've been able to figure it out for our clients, and we've kind of put together a proven way to get any GMC fixed, which is like kind of game changing. And
elite. Basically,
like, it comes down to a few things. I've released a video on my channel that basically goes over like what we look at a high level, but obviously inside the program we can help you look at the individual key components, your policies, how your website's set up. Most of the times it's just a few things. Are you using guarantee like in your like site language? Are you using bold? Are you double spacing? Is the links broken? Is the information, the contact information congruent with the site, the GMC, and Shopify? It needs to be continuity, and all misrepresentation means at the end of the day is something is misrepresented on the website level with GMC and Shopify.
So it means you guys are
can match it.
You guys are lying to the algorithms, and they're calling you out. So if you guys want more juice of this, like, you guys have to check out our coaching program. You guys could fill out to see if you're a good fit, somewhere in the links. But let's move on to the brand question, because there's actually getting a lot of questions coming out, Trev.
Yeah.
How many brands is good to have in a niche? I'm looking currently 10 different. I say my answer is 5. I think you just have a main arsenal of like really good ones after you outreach to a ton. Trevor, yours?
How many brands could you have in? Well, yeah, the more the better, but at least 3 to launch ads.
Yeah. How can I be rich? How can I be rich? Stop eating pizza. freaking Pizza Hunter 33. I'm playing. But like, yo, you guys have to learn how to speak the language of it. Um, but yeah, I've seen many brands have their very own website. Why would we come to our website? We just answered this question.
Yeah.
Does having a YouTube video on description be a
Nope,
problem?
not a problem.
Okay. I already have a store open and running. Do you offer audits? Yeah, we offer audits. Just give me or Trevor a DM, and then we'll set you up for something. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you, bro. All right, let's go back to that question because I skipped over because I said we answered it. Why would people come to our website to buy the stuff? I think Trevor nailed that point of like, you know, if you're trying to buy an iPhone, you go to Best Buy to buy it. Why does Best Buy exist? Best Buy still exists. And it's because simple. If someone buys the product from the manufacturer themselves, they might not get the best customer service possible. Like, you just might not be able, like Apple might be able to maybe, but a lot of these suppliers, like they're businesses themselves and they have so many orders going on, so many moving parts. We as a dealer is in charge of making sure like that communication line is properly transacted from point A to point B. That's why we exist. We solve that problem, that communication gap. If you have like freaking 1,000 customers ordering from the supplier, they're figuring out how to build the product, they're figuring out logistics, they're figuring out all the handling. It's too much. And that's where like high ticket dropshipping blossom.
Right.
About advertising, does niche have specific products or is it okay to have gender? I'm sorry, I don't understand it, Trevor, because the spotlight's on me right now. I'm pushing you.
Yeah, I think he just means, does a niche have to have brand products or branded products?
Oh.
Well, ideally, how we do our advertising, yes, but it is definitely possible without. It's just way harder. You have to put way more work. Instead of like relying on branded traffic, you're gonna need to bid on terms like, in the TV example, flat screen TV, 45-inch flat screen TV, and you have to convert that traffic, which is a lot harder than if someone's searching Samsung 20 or 70-inch CU 7000. If you sell that, you just show your ad. If your site is trustworthy, compelling offer, you're gonna make sales.
Well said. 20 or 30K rev a month in 6 months or profit. If you guys are referring to the coaching mentorship, that's $10,000 a month profit in 6 months or 24 weeks, or your money back guarantee. So that what's 10K a month profit, Trev? That's about like at 20% margins, 40-ish, 40 50 rev.
Yeah,
40 50
most of our clients hit the 10K mark at like 40 to 60K rev.
Yeah, 40 60K rev. Yeah, so that's it. Do the theme pages promotion method work, like sending your ad to promote on your page? We use Google Ads. So the theme page promotion. Trevor, have you ever shown the world about a theme page high ticket hybrid model promotion?
I'm sure it works. It's just you need to have product market fit. Like most of the times, people aren't going to be buying a $7,000 garage lift from Instagram. What it is good for is building trust and essentially just nurturing people to come back to your site. But it's not going to be like a main revenue driver.
Sorry to cut you off, Trev. Yeah,
all good.
Now I was just answering Igor's question. He said main traffic generator would be through branded keywords. I would say that you have to also first branded and then generic. But Trev, like you
I agree.
Know best.
Yeah,
it's very straightforward. Like take over traffic. Brand and then go to general.
Yeah, branded traffic is the way to go to start with, but then there's only so much branded traffic you have to go up the funnel.
Nice. All right.
Amazing.
I'll be honest. I didn't expect so many questions on the first live. I was thinking it was just gonna be a whole presentation, but guys, I'm gonna leave. We're gonna do idle time. We'll stay up for 2 more minutes, just so if you guys have any final questions, we'll do it. We'll just chill around if you guys have anything. If not, I'm just checking up on my updates on my phone. Trevor, anything you wanna talk with the audience, bro? Like, how's life, bro?
I think life is good. Life is good. Thank you for asking. I would say one feedback for Marcus: there's echo when you're speaking. We'll make sure to fix it next time.
Yes, sir.
We love feedback because like in a program the modules are always updated based on feedback. That's the best way to make it better.
Yeah, so if you guys try to come into our program, leech it, and then take it, well, you guys are getting outdated information. Leeches. God damn it.
Having trouble outreaching to suppliers, haven't had any luck and had to do a product switch to the same niche and advice, been taking calls and most emails. Having trouble outreaching to suppliers. Well,
had to switch product niche.
Well, we had to kind of see, did you pick a niche that's too narrow or one that's too broad where your domain doesn't fit? A few questions there. But mainly, if you're calling suppliers and not emailing, every person that we work with has been able to close suppliers. And they're not going to close every single one right out the bat, and they shouldn't. But you get as many as you can in the beginning, make sales with them, come back for round 2, get as many as you can, and just repeat that every 3 to 6 month cycle. Get better margins with the suppliers that you're doing well with. And that's essentially the formula with suppliers for high-tech e-com.
I would just say keep trying. Like, there's no way, like, if you do like 100 calls, you're not going to get like one good relationship. So
yeah. No just means no right now. Just keep that in mind.
Facts.
No does not mean no forever. And you should,
sir, bro.
I don't know if you should approach that with women, but
that's a whole nother fucking live that we gotta have to do with Mikey, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. You guys are fucking with our content, man. Shout out to DJ Horizon. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, DJ.
Trevor, he actually said thank you.
Thank you, DJ. Appreciate the support.
Thank you,
DM
DJ.
where?
Rodrigo, DM where? Me at Marcus Slam Official, and Trevor at Ecom Trevor. Ecom with Trevor, my mistake. Ecom with Trevor on Instagram. Mine is Marcus Slam Official. MarcusLam Official. Can't miss it. And that's it, guys. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
We'll see you guys all next week. We're gonna be actually building the store live, which is gonna be.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the whole process. We have to go. We're gonna make this like a whole entire like module thing for a long run. I want you guys to like, no, every Friday 12 p.m. tap in, or else like, what are you doing, man? Tap in. Thank you guys.
Yo, for the niche selection, we gotta like, someone has to put in like a random word, and then we're gonna take that word, put it into random word generator, and then we're gonna find our niche.
100%.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Amazing. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.